Hey, welcome back to my channel. Thank yourself first. It's imperative for us to thank ourselves first, man. So look, I wanted to talk a little bit about fear, man, because I go through it, you go through it, lots of people go through it. Fear of missing out, FOMO, fear of making a challenging decision in order to make some progression, starting over, new chapters, things like that. I want to talk a little bit about it when I first was working for a trucking company named Schneider National, man. I had to start somewhere when I first got my CDL, and Schneider was the one for me. For some reason, I just felt like that would be the company that I need to start with. And plus, I was given a little bit of advice from my CDL instructor who told me that he worked for Schneider for many, many, many years. He actually retired from Schneider. Um, Something that I was not looking forward to doing. I really don't want to retire with any trucking company because I have more of a business mind and I want to own my own businesses and things like that. But I would love to get my foot in the game and be out there in the field and learn how to use the equipment and also gather some skills and things like that that would actually help me while I'm doing my own business. So basically, man, when I was working for this company, I really found out that truckers really don't make as much money as is perceived to be out there in the public, and I just really wasn't really feeling that. So I knew that I had to have a backup plan, while I was moving forward. Now, a lot of the guys that I was working with, man, they were feeling the same way. They were like, man, this isn't what we signed up for. You know, there's a whole lot of strict rules and things like that. But these basic rules that we were being taught and basically being shown how to operate these heavy equipment vehicles, these tractor trailers, and basically the laws and everything that we needed to abide by, they basically taught us what we needed to know, because had I went somewhere else, I might not have got um, the same. I don't think I probably would have got the same amount of time that I was being given by my instructor, because I was having a hard time backing up the tractor trailer. And I know a lot of people have that problem doing the backup, but at least with my trainer, I was given some ample time in order to learn a little bit. Even though it could take you weeks, it could take you months, I was just using every little bit of time that I got, behind the wheel to learn how to back and do things like that. Now, with that being said, as I continued to work for this company, I was making, minimal money. And the minimal money, uh, it really wasn't amounting to anything. I couldn't really do anything with it. So I told myself, like I said, I got to have a backup plan. Now, I stayed with this company for about 3.5 years. Now, 3.5 years is a long time. I never would have thought I would have stayed there that long, because almost every day I was telling myself I'm going to quit. But I had fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like to admit that, especially to myself or my ego or whatever. But I definitely had fear of leaving that job and having to start over with another company. It wasn't that I didn't think I can get a better job or a better paying job. It's just that after a while I started realizing, I think all of these companies are the same. Yeah, this one might pay like 2 cents more per mile over here, but I kind of feel like all these companies are going to be the same. And that's just what it is really in the trucking industry. It's just a whole bunch of lies and deceit. So what I did was, well, actually, before I get to that, there was a brother that I seen, an African brother who was working for Schneider for like 3 years, and I think I was like on my year and a half or something like that, and he was been there for 3 years. I said, "Hey, bro," I said, how long you been working over here for? 'Cause I ain't never seen you before." He said, "Oh yeah, man, I've been with the company for 3 years." I was like, "Really, 3 years?" I said, "You like it?" He said, "Oh yeah, man, I love it." I said, "That's good, bro. That's good." You know. And as I drove off, I was thinking to myself, man, this dude is an idiot. Ain't no way I'll be with this company for no 3 years. And there I was working for this company for 3.5 years. But like I said, it's a thing of fear, but I also had like a proper plan. How I was going to strategize that plan was I was going to use my skills of getting my 2 years in and then going to buy my own truck. See, a lot of these places, they're not going to tell you, you got to have like 2 years in order for you to move up. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to go get a loan from the bank and in order for you to go buy a truck from one of these lots, they need for you to have 2 years, because in 2 years, they can actually determine, your MVR, your motor violations record. They can determine if you've been driving good, been disciplined, you know the rules. You don't have a whole lot of points, that are being missed. And also your insurance, because if you got a whole lot of violations, tickets and things like that, or accidents and stuff, they're going to look at that and they're going to say, well, we're not going to be able to get no insurance for you because it's going to be too high, and nobody's going to be willing to pay no extra high insurance while you're over here making accidents after accidents, and it's just not a good look for both parties. So I knew I had to have a clean MVR. I knew I had to have accident free, even though, I had a couple of accidents and stuff, little small minor things, but it wasn't like I was just running people over and stuff like that, but it was just small little minor infractions and things like that. So yeah, I had to wait for like 3 years for that stuff to come off of my record, But basically, the thing about having this fear is like, damn, am I scared to start over and have a new chapter? It's what a lot of people are having and going through right now. They're afraid to move on to the next chapter because you get so content in the situation that you're in right now and you're used to it. You don't want to move on, and I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because things get too comfortable and we get used to being right there in that same little space. But that's not the space that you're meant to be in. That space, when you start feeling uncomfortable or getting too comfortable, it's time for you to get uncomfortable. And uncomfortable is what's going to put you in that next step, that next piece of that ladder to where you're going to actually be more successful, because you have to move on. You can't just stay in one lane or one place for too long. And that's the problem that I have with working for these companies and stuff, because after a while, I start feeling like I don't need to be here because it's not doing anything for me, It's not making me a better individual. It's not giving me any learning lessons other than I done already mastered this. Now it's time to move on to the next space. That's it. So that's one of the things that a lot of us, we got to do, differently in 2024. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for me too, because I'm not perfect. I've never had it all together. I'm still learning as I go. So the fear of missing out, the fear of changing, the fear of, fear will stop you from a lot of stuff, man. It can stop you from building a great bond with somebody. It can stop you from, relationships. It can stop you from, expanding your horizons. It can stop you from a whole lot of things, man. It can stop you from investments, Like look at the crypto right now. The crypto going crazy right now. But did you put any money in it? You know what I'm saying? If you didn't put any money in it, then it's like, damn, I missed out. But you probably knew, and you probably had an opportunity to invest something in it, and you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of things like that, Don't be afraid to put your best foot forward, man. I know we've talked about, oh, I got bills, I got this, I got that. Sometimes you're just going to have to suck it up, man, and invest some money into something, man, and change your diet at the house. You're probably going to have to go from four or five meals to 1 or 2 meals. I know it's hard, but these are some of the things you got to think about doing when you want to make some investments and change your life for the better. It's rough, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you see the way that crypto is jumping right now? I'm watching Bitcoin. I'm looking at that like, jeez. I didn't know it was going to jump like that anytime soon, because I'm looking at everything else that's going on in the world, and I'm like, we're probably going to be at a standstill for a minute. And I'm thinking things are going to be like 2008 all over again. But then again, I have to think, like, look at we going to war over there, the Russia and Ukraine war, the Israel and Palestine war, other wars they're talking about having and stuff like that. You know what happens when countries start going to war and stuff, man. Whoever's triumphant, there's going to be a whole lot of money and gold and goods for the victor. So it's something you got to think about. But yeah, definitely, man. Kill all that fear, man. Let's move into 2024 in a positive way, man. You know what I'm saying? Things that don't pertain to us and don't build us up gradually, we don't have time for that no more, you know? And that goes for people, that goes for jobs, that goes for anything that we feel is not beneficial for us to move on in the future, you know? Like let's use some examples, like, you know, people that you know, want to date us or whatever. You don't got no good credit. That means that you don't have no good responsibility skills in your life, you know? The things that you take seriously in life, I don't take as seriously in life because I already see that you don't have any responsibility when it comes to you building your own credit. Now, we're not just going to kick people down who have terrible credit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because they might have fell on some hard times, or they might have went through a divorce, or they might have went through a situation where they lost a prized possession like their houses or a car or something like that. Like I said, it could have fell on hard times, but how long does it take for you to start building that back up, you know? And you gotta be a person who looks at your best interest, you know what I'm saying, and take it serious so that somebody else can take you serious. Because one person who has good credit, another person who doesn't have good credit, they're not going to be in a good standing relationship in my eyes, because one is going to have to lean on the other to get something that they need, you know? And we need to be leaning on each other if we're going to be in a relationship together, you know? So that's something to keep in mind too. So moving into 2024, man, let's like I said, man, let's start investing some of this money, man, and making some things happen, you know? And if you got a friend or a couple of friends who want to get involved in some real estate and stuff like that, man, why not put y'all money together? You know, I'm watching other people do it all the time, man. Foreigners, they do it all the time, man. They'll live in one house together, man, and they'll all save their money up. And then they'll put money together to buy a business for just one of them. And then while his business starts to thrive, then they'll start putting more money to the side again for the next one. Then his business starts to thrive, and they do it again, over and over again. It's a rinse and repeat, you know? Black folks, we really need to do that more often, you know? But I'm just saying, you know, you could listen to me or you could listen to E, you know? But that's important. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. So don't be fearful moving into 2024, man. This might be our last year to really get it together, man, because I'm watching BlackRock buy up so much real estate, especially out here in Las Vegas. They're buying up so much real estate, making it hard for us to be able to buy a property. You know, the prices are so high right now. The interest rate is so high right now. And the amount of houses that are available is just like, it's at a small scale. So, you know, you're probably going to end up having to buy a condo, you know, when really you want to get a house, but it might not be a substantial thing for you to do at this time being. So that's another thing you got to pay attention to. And, man, get your stuff right, man. You know what I'm saying? 2024, we can't play no more, man. We can't play no more, man. These people ain't playing out here, man. They buying up stuff. They taking everything, you know? So get it together, man. Stop being so stingy and stop being so fearful. I'm out.